me explain to you. There are 3 different tiers of PPE. Okay, the one is actually basically just what we do on normal practice. Then you do have an advanced one, and the third one is Ebola type. Okay, so this is the basic one. You know what I mean when we're talking. So basically, we use plastic apron. Most of the time, we use gloves and we use mask, and that's all we use. Okay, and we'll talk about the respirator, which are special. Okay, goggles, which are special. And then the third tier, the Ebola, which we're not going to talk about it. So he's just doing a simple thing, right? Gloves, apron, and this. Yeah. So everybody, okay. So everybody's happy with the apron, yeah? Everybody's happy with the mask? Okay. Okay, what's wrong with the mask? Yeah, I think this is important because we're discussing over here to see, that's the way, okay. So what is not correct on this one?
Mask is not.
Okay, mask is not properly tight. Okay, so that's mask is actually not tight. Okay, yeah, okay. So now
it should be
gloves
down
are
the
okay.
chin.
Yeah.
It should be down the chin. It should cover the down chin, and the nose bridge has to be covered properly.
Covered properly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it should be like snugly, properly around the mouth.
Okay.
And while donning, we have to first lower end first. It's tied up to the like behind the head, and then the upper end is then the upper end is tied.
Okay.
No, that's not the. That's not.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, just make a comment because I'm going to show you the way to do it properly. Or she's going to show you the way to do it properly. Okay, so gloves. So okay, now this is the donning the donning of the PPE. Okay. Now we'll do it later. Now I want him to remove. So now he has done this one. Okay, yeah. So he didn't handle in disinfection. Then he put an apron. Yeah. Then he put mask, and then he put gloves. Sequence is okay. You think? Yeah. Yeah, eye goggle if you need it, okay? Because most of the time, okay, the eye goggle. Okay, now I want you to observe. Okay, now he's contaminated, okay? He's touched me, I'm infected, he's contaminated now. So now you observe the sequence of removal, okay? But also the proper way of removing it, okay?
No.
Okay, so what wrong is then? What do you think?
So you have to pinch with the right hand, we have to pinch on the left wrist. When to peel it off upside down, then hold it in the right hand, and then slip in the fingers of the right hand under the left wrist, and then peel it off and take it. It's like that.
Okay, so your technique was correct, but seems to me requires some improvement, okay? To put it mildly, okay? Okay, so now what do you do?
Do hand hygiene. After
Now
removing gloves,
you
hand
think he's doing
hygiene.
the right thing?
No, after removing gloves, he has to do the hand hygiene.
Okay, so just hold on. Okay, this is okay. So he
We have to dispose it in proper dustbin first.
Okay, so this is you throw into it. Now what you're going to do?
Now hand wash.
No need.
Okay, hand wash?
No need.
Okay, they're actually saying no. You think they're correct?
I think
No need.
if I have touched the patient, then I need to do a hand wash.
Okay, so okay, what do you think?
No.
Okay, they're actually saying that you have to remove your apron. What do you think?
I think, sir, we can first I can wash my hands, then I can remove it.
Okay.
No, sir, if the gloves were.
Spoiled, if they are contaminated with some body fluid or something like that.
Yeah,
so
then he
contaminate
has
my
to
tools
wash his
also.
hands.
Okay, I think you are right. Okay, so after gloves,
Hand rub can be used.
you have to actually use your plastic apron, yeah?
Yes.
Sequencing wise.
Sir,
I'll tell you. I'll explain to you in detail why, you know what I mean, okay? So now how do you remove your plastic apron?
Break it.
It was already used, okay.
everything is plastic and then we can
No, tie it first. No, tie it and remove it. Okay, so sequencing, glove first, after
First,
that
then apron.
or plastic apron or apron, doesn't matter. Yeah, okay,
so we can break it.
yes.
No.
I'm okay, this is what I've done, okay? Every time. This is what I've seen in every.
Wait, let him finish first. No.
First lower then upper. That's what I think.
It has to go in a swaddle way. It has to come down like this and it doesn't.
Touching.
It should be removed outside of near.
Hand wash. Touch. Apron. Hand wash.
Put your mask in the chair.
No. It doesn't have to touch the surface of the mask. The
We have to take same way hand hygiene we did. We have to take adequate amount of hand rub solution, palm to palm with interlace and back to palm with interlace. The same with the opposite hand. Okay. Then interlace fingers. For that we have to do like this, not like this. All the fingers has to be come across. Then we have to do the interlock. You have to do interlock and do it like this. Okay, not like this. Interlock and do it. The same way the other hand, interlock and do it. Then this finger we left. So we have to go like this, not like this. Not like this. We have to go like this. Then we will cover the slightly the wrist also. Okay. Then both hands like that. So finally, clasp fingers. Then clockwise and anti-clockwise with the palm. Okay, palm of the finger. By the time the hand should be dry. Okay. Suppose we are going to the patients are already told, we can talk to the patient and we can do all the thing at the same time, because people will say most of the time, I have no time to put anything. Okay. So we can talk to the patient or near going to the cot even, we can put all the thing. So you have to take the gown. Finally take the back. The way you have to remove easily. Okay. Then after that, I have to put the mask. Whatever time you feel like putting the hand up, it is not a problem. Suppose if I touch my dress, I can use the hand rub again. Then I have to put the mask. Wearing the mask also, it is very important. We have to see the nose piece. The same way, you have to see the fold, no, the folding is here. The folding should be come downward, okay. There should be no pouch in this. Let's put the thing. Tie the top one first. It is also in a removable way. Then the down tie. Okay, then you adjust the mask. You pull it down. Then you take 2 fingers and just pinch. With one finger, if you pinch, your nose will hurt. So you just pinch it like this. Then just to roll it. Then it will fix properly. Otherwise, each time when we do something, somebody has to assist or we have to adjust the thing. So you should not do it. Then even now, if you want, you can put the hand rub. Otherwise, I can put the glove. Clean glove, so I can touch the glove even out, it's okay, no problem. But after touching the environment or anywhere, I should not touch anywhere. Okay? This is the sequence of putting the PPE. If this
She first used the hand rub. Then she tied the apron with her hands behind her back. So she already already infected her hands. Then again she tied the mask
that's why
behind.
I told her. That's why I told her I can use the hand rub. I can use the hand rub because so many
that
times
is
we
must
use.
then.
What?
That is a must then. After the whole procedure, you have to use the hand rub again. Because otherwise your hands becomes still dirty.
That's
Because
why I
you have
told her I'm using the hand rub because again I'm using the hand rub. If you feel like you touched anywhere, you want to use the hand rub, you can use it. At many times you can use the hand rub, no problem. That's why I told you.
Correct.
Okay? Then removing the PPE, we have to remove the gloves first. It is very important, whether left hand or right hand, whichever thing, you have to pinch the glove outside. Okay? Then remove it and keep it in your other gloved hand. Keep 2 fingers inside, not touching outside. Remove it and make it as a pouch and discard. Okay. Now I am using the hand rub. Actually, after removing the glove, we have to wash our hand. This is we are considering this is the hand rub position. Okay, I am doing it. Okay. Then I have to remove the gown. While removing the gown, it is important to untie. Okay. Then, without touching the front of the gown, you just tear it. Okay. Do not pull. If you pull, no, some particles may be here. It will come and contact the floor, or somebody is there, or the patient. So then you have to cover the gown or apron, roll it. The inner side should come outside and the outside has to go in. Discard, then again hand rub. The same way, palm to palm, back to palm. In the left, in the lock, finger, thumb, both hands, then inner aspect of the palm with the clasped fingers. Okay. Now the hand dry. Then now I have to remove the mask. While removing the mask, the down tie first. Remove it. Keep it in your hand. Then the upper tie. Remove. Then slightly bend forward. Remove it. Don't touch front of the mask or inside the mask. Just discard. Okay. Now I have to wash my hand. Suppose in between you are using the hand rub, it's okay, but after removing the whole PPE, definitely you have to wash your hand, okay? While interlock, we have to cover this area completely. Otherwise, if we do like this, no, only nail will come in contact, so you have to do it for the knuckle of the finger. Okay, then the thumb, you have to go like this. Okay.
I'm going to show you like different numbers. Okay. A couple of mistakes. Basically, 3 times washing your hand is not recommended. Okay. So first, I have to actually remove my jewelry. And normally, most of the time, what we call bare bro elbow. So clinicians don't allow to actually wear long sleeve anymore. Okay, no ties and no long sleeves and no jewelry. Okay. So I'm going to show you slight difference. That's the way we teach, and this is what we recommend, the sequencing, okay? Which is slightly different, and the way to remove it. You see, when you're putting the PPE, it's not really important, you know what I mean? So normally, you just remember somebody was asking me about the steps of hand hygiene. I think it is very important when you're teaching, you have to have some kind of methods, okay? That you start with this, and then you do this. So whatever you do 3 times, okay? So I'm not going to go. So the first thing, you decontaminate your hand. So I'm not going to do it in a proper way, okay? So so my hand that disinfect, forget about that. So I just want to follow this diagram, okay? So you disinfect your hand first. And after that, you actually put your plastic apron first, okay? Now, it's fine. And I'm going to talk to you in a minute that this can get contaminated, and I've got 5-minute presentation about this whole thing. So basically, you just remove it gently, because they are all clean, okay? Sometimes they are contaminated, and I'm going to show you how to keep it protected, okay? Sometimes they're just lying around; they're all contaminated, okay? So we don't have the open thing, anything at all. I'll show you how to do it, and the gloves are same issue as well. So what you do? So you just basically put your plastic apron. This is coming from the clean container, yeah? And then you just tie it. Okay, and then you just make sure this is okay, because it's all clean now, okay? My hands are clean, this is all clean, okay? After that, what do? You take your face mask. It was the other way around, but just make sure it's not other way around, because the way she put was the other way around. It should be this way. And the first thing you do, remember when you are looking at the respirator, molding come last. When you do surgical mask, molding come first. So you mold it. See, I can walk. I can mold it first. So if you properly mold it, see, if you really mold it first, right? Then it should stay here. So you have to mold this one first, respirator, molding is last. That's the way you should remember. And I'm going to show you the sequence in a minute, in terms of the steps. So this one, yeah. Now then, there are different ways. There's no right, there's no wrong way. Why? Because each one of you who are sitting here, the facial expressions are different, yeah? Facial, some are too thin, long, whatever it is. So you have to work it out, but just make sure it fits well. So there are no right or wrong way of doing it, but just make sure there's no leakage. So here, so once I put it over here, then I normally take the first die, okay, first die, and I just put it like this. Okay. Now I do two things. I normally lift up. Now can you see everything is completely fitted? There are complete seal around the whole area. So in the first demonstration we have seen, you've done the right way. In first demonstration he did like that. So there was seal around here, and you pointed out that there was no mold. But if you do it like this, but sometimes your face is small and you can do it, it doesn't matter. But this is the way I do it. So you can do it at the back, you can do it over here, makes no difference at all. So now everything is sealed. Can you see it's completely sealed, especially I've got beard, it's completely sealed. No, because they're all clean, okay? And I'll tell you how to keep it clean. Yeah, okay, then what I have to do? And after that I'm going to put gloves. How do I put it? Because they are clean gloves, yeah? So make sure you should get the right fitting gloves. Otherwise you have difficulty removing it. Okay? So this is sequence. Now remember, everything is clean. Okay? Now I'm going to show you the removal, which is more important. This one, because these things are clean, you're not going to get infected, yeah? So this is the area where actually people go wrong. Remember one thing very simple. What did I put first? What I put last? Gloves. So the gloves are the dirtiest part. I put last. That has to come out first. That's the way to remember. So the gloves are the first, followed by apron. So I'm going to tell you how to do it properly. So you did it the right way, yeah? So basically you pinch it, the glove, gradually, right? You make sure you don't touch your finger, okay? And then you lift it. Now I make every effort not to touch it, touch my hand at all, so you can avoid the wrist if possible. And then basically, you put your glove inside. And that's all completely contained. So what actually happen, you know, you've got Jamal, all the people who are taking all the bits and pieces, sometimes the bag actually losing. So there is less risk of them actually getting infection. Yeah? So this is done. After that, I don't have to wash my hands. Why? Because my hands are relatively less dirty now because I have removed the gloves in a proper way. Then what I do, I normally pinch. Okay? Don't go start with this. Pinch. Which area is contaminated? This area. Gently pinch without touching anything. So I pinch like this, and you go like this. Now this is completely contained. Now I'm not touching anything. I'm touching the apron. At the back, it's not contaminated. It's clean. I'm not touching my clothes. And I'm pinching it and gradually rolling it down. Yeah? It's all about containment. And gently I'm doing it. So if you actually do like that, yeah, you know that the front part is most contaminated. Now I'm going to disinfect my hands. Yeah? Why? Because I'm not touching the mucous membrane, so I'm going to disinfect my hands, okay? And then I remove my mask, which is done it the proper way. Basically, the whole idea is that never touch your mask. Doesn't really matter whether you go at the back or the front, doesn't really matter at all. But the whole idea is that you remove it by using the dye, that's all. Not touching it, that's the whole concept. That's what and you disinfect it, throw it then you disinfect your hands. Yeah? So that's all. So small fine tuning, but just make sure you don't touch it. Just remember, it's all non-touch technique kind of thing. But contain this one first, because if you're going to try this one first, okay, it's difficult. But the quality of plastic sometimes can be very difficult as well. Okay, so you want to ask any question?
In some places it's reused, so then how do we use it?
Well, I mean, they are all single use, you know what I mean? So reuse is not recommended.
So the apron, sometimes it's reused.
Yeah, so which area?
So in private,
Huh?
so in some government hospitals also there is reusation of.
No, I mean, which area? Is it people who are going to intensive care unit and things like that? Or when people are looking after patients with MRSA or contact precaution? I mean, reuse is not, do you have any answer? Reuse is not recommended. They're all single-use disposable. You want to demonstrate gown, yeah? And
Sir,
yeah, okay. You
sir, one more thing, that apron, no plastic apron. What we are getting, we cannot pull from here.
oh, you can, okay.
Yeah, it will tear our neck. No, this is easy to tear, no.
So I still, personally, it's my personal opinion. If you're going to tear from here, do you have it? Show me. Do you have it?
No, this one okay. It's different varieties we are getting,
Okay,
but
give me. Show. I personally don't, because once you tear it from here, you are going to aerosolize the whole thing. You have to contain this one. You have to, So let me try this, because the quality, I think, is important. So.
no, this one will come easy. Blue color, but that one it won't come. They have to remove it only. Different varieties are
Let me try
coming.
this one then. So this is very interesting, I never seen they come in packs. So which is good, it keeps it clean, yeah? I tried this one with my method. That's the one we teach, because the one which I've shown you is the correct method if you do it. So here, so remember, I'm not touching my clothes, yeah? Okay, remember, I've got very small videos to show all this, but I don't have time. I'm really sorry, but I'll show you actually where the contamination happened. People have done a lot of studies on that, okay? So I'm just pinching it. Remember, this part is clean, and my hands are even dirty. It doesn't matter at all. You know why? I'm not touching my clothes, so what's the problem? You know what I mean? So here, and this part is clean anyway. So you just tear it and contain it. It's wonderful, you know what I mean? This is all contained now. So what actually happened, when you've got a breakage of the plastic bag, the poor guy who's lifting all the rubbish, okay, when it's a mess, everything is contained. And then over here, can you see I'm not touching these one at all. I'm either lifting it, or if you can have a tie, which you can untangle it. But don't touch your clothing. Either you pinch it, yeah, from outside because it's clean, yeah. Your hands are dirty, but this is clean at the back because you don't get the contamination. And then you roll it gently. Okay? Now, when I was JHO and I was doing like this. This is what you see. And I was in the lift and somebody was wearing this glove. So you see people with gloves, and when I was coming from the lift, one person was wearing this one with the lift with me, PPE, okay? So the whole idea is that you have to actually tell, this is PPE, you do your task, you finish it, dispose it off, disinfect your hand, unless there's a cardiac arrest or some medical emergency. Then you forget about the infection control because the patient safety is more important. It doesn't take time, you know what I mean? Okay, so recommendation is that swapping, yeah? Any more questions? Okay.
Fine. We are done with PP. Any more questions? Yeah, please. Sir, why cap is not used? Ma'am is asking.
Okay. So as I told you, there are different level of PPE. The one level is the very basic one. Okay. For normal things, you don't need cap. Okay. So there are aseptic procedure, completely different altogether. Yeah. Surgical side, different altogether. Ebola, they're different. I'm just talking of the basic PPE which you use on day-to-day basis. Caps are not necessary at all. What you're going to do with caps? Unless you're actually working in an operating theater, yeah, where you don't virtually fall your hair on this one, or you're working around the food area, yeah. But caps are not really important. Americans are very big into caps, okay? The caps for everything, you know what I mean? Like a central line. I don't know why. No, they're not going to follow. You know, if you do the simple thing. But caps are not necessary. Caps are not part of PPE, okay? So these are all, one of my bit, there are WHO bit. So I think only 10 minutes I'm going to show you the particle dynamics, because people have huge confusion about the mask and the gowns and the filtration. Just hold on. You want to the wearing of the gown. She's going to show you gown, yeah, removal of gown, and respirator, okay? We are not going to go through sequencing. She's going to tell you how to wear it, which is not rocket science, but how to remove it safely. And then she will going to talk about the respirator, okay? So those two are, yeah.
Then after that, we have to wear the gown first. There you can paste it, otherwise you have to tie it. It has to completely cover. Suppose the gown is small, means you can wear even two gowns. First gown you have to put it in front. That open should come in front. The second gown you have to put it in the back. Okay? Suppose this gown is small, means you can wear two gowns. One gown you can put it in the front open. Then the second gown you can put it in the back open. Then you have to completely cover your body, because you have to protect our whole cloth and our body. For that reason only we are wearing the full gown. Then you have to wear the mask.
Okay. The question I'm asking, is it waterproof or is it water repellent? What's the difference? And
Waterproof, it won't, suppose water comes, yeah, it will come out. Yeah, it will.
so if you want to make this gown, which is water repellent, not waterproof, what do you do?
I will wear the plastic apron first, then after that I have got to wear this one. The masks also we are getting different types, not like the Sal shown one, it is the different one. It is that one you have to see that blue label, no, that has to come out. This one, it is coming like that plates, it has to come downward. Then the particles, whatever may be, it will stay inside. The inner side, there is a pouch like thing. Our particles will stay inside. And suppose something is coming in contacting us, like a patient or some our colleagues or somebody is speaking or that thing, it will stay here, it will go down. Okay, the same way I am putting the hand rub. when we put the long sleeve gown, that glove has to be come over the cuff of the glove. The glove has to come over the cuff of the gown. Okay. Otherwise, suppose you are doing some procedure, some fluid will come in contact, it will go inside. So to prevent that one, you have to do like this. Okay. Removing also the same way only. The same way you have to pinch outside. Okay. Keep it in the other hand, gloved hand. Then remove the second one. Slowly, otherwise it will spill. So make it as a pouch and discard it in the yellow bag, which whatever we are burning it. Okay, then I have to do the hand wash. I did the hand wash. Now I am removing the gown. This one also, according to the gown, some gown, if you pull nose here, it won't come. So by the time we have to untie only. So be careful, you should not touch the cloth or anything. Okay, while removing the thing, you should be very careful. It is important, whatever gown you use, like cloth gown or the disposable one, when you remove this gown, you have to put your hand inside of the shoulder. Okay? Don't touch outside, because outside area is contaminated. So put inside. Okay? Many methods are there to remove the thing. Then the second hand, cover it properly the same way the disposable apron we remove. Okay, roll it. Then discard it in the table bag. Then I have to put my hand rub. Okay. The mask the same way. If you keep it in your hand, it is easy because it won't touch anywhere. Just discard. The same thing, N95 mask, it is very important. Most of the time, people don't know how to wear this one. It will hang on the neck. So you should not do it. After wearing the whatever mask, this mask or N95 mask, it should not be dangled. So if you don't want, you remove it. Otherwise, you have to put it in a proper manner. While wearing the N95 mask, you have to take the mask like this. Okay? See? Easy. Otherwise, we don't know which strap you have to put first. It is difficult. So put this on, take it like this, and apart these two things, then put it in your nose. Take this one. Then the down one on the top, if you want. Then you have to adjust it the same way. You have to pinch the nose piece. Then you have to check whether it is slipping properly or not. So when you inhale, it has to draw inward. When you blow, it has to come outside. So it is working properly then. While removing, the top type you have to remove first. See, put it down. Okay, the top nose piece is still there, so the down one you have to remove first. Then the down one, discard it. Do not touch inside or outside of the mask. Goggles, many types it's coming goggles also. You should not touch the front or inside of the goggles. If you put the type of this type, you have to pull it. Then you have to put it. Adjust it. Okay. While removing, you have to touch the thighs only, not the goggles. Front or inside you should not touch. Okay. Slightly pull, come forward and remove it. If disposable means you can dispose it, otherwise reusable means you have to send for reprocessing. Then after that, hand wash.
Okay, I think I'm going to, I know you're all tired, okay? This is what we call graveyard session. Everybody's half dead, a zombie type of thing, okay? So, two different. Okay, I haven't seen this one, so.
So actually, two-ply mask, three-ply mask is coming. That is two-ply mask we are using for the patient. Suppose the TB patients or somebody is there, or we are transferring one patient to like a dialysis patient, transplant patient. We are shifting to other ward or for ultrasound or any other purpose. We are giving that mask for the patient. That surgical mask, that is the three-ply mask we are surgeon or the nurse for the patient. One more mask is there, like this is the face shield. I think everybody should know this one. When you use this face shield, you no need that goggles as well as the mask. You can put this one. My question is,
Yeah, I think your question was different. Yeah, what, can I repeat it, please? Yeah.
there are two sides, right? So, are there different purposes for each
No. Okay, there is only one side to the mask.
N95 mask?
This is, yeah. So, this is front.
This one.
No, you can't.
No, suppose if you are going to do some procedure, some splash or something will come, you will feel like that means you can put this.
Okay.
That one is
Okay, let me explain to you.
Um,
Okay, I know the. Okay, let me explain to you. Okay, let me ask you a question then. Okay, what is the filtering capacity of this particular mask? Sorry. What is the filtering capacity for this mask? How many minutes? Filtering capacity, okay? Remember, when the mask is wet, it is no longer effective. The filtering capacity is only about 20 minutes. After that, the mask is all humid. Once the mask is humid, it acts like a wick, okay? And you have all the bacteria. But this is not an issue, but you can see surgeon going over here. So the question, I think, around here, the front of the mask is completely different than the back of the mask. The filtering capacity is all in the front of the mask. So you cannot use the other way around, okay? Because if this is the filtering capacity. So remember, she did the other way because we have got different masks, you have a different kind of mask. So you have to actually make sure, and you did the right thing, that you have to actually work it out which is the right way, which is the very important point you have made. Because I can wear a mask like this, and it will not be effective. Because the filtering capacity is on the front side, and this is the other side, okay? So you have to work it out which is the side which is forward. And same thing on this one, that your filtering capacity on the front side, and not on the other side. But no, this one you can't wear it. You have to wear it by pinching this one, and most of the time you don't see it, and sometimes they wear it on the other side, sometimes they wear it like this. And the surgeon in my hospital, they wear it like this to actually declare they are big surgeons, you know what I mean? And they come in the canteen and do all bits and pieces, PP and things like that, so which is not right. Yeah, okay? So there's only one side. Yeah.
because the new mask that we are having now, the little screen, it's like a inside. So we don't know that we have the lump.
Okay. So this one, I mean, this one is not a good quality mask to me. It's okay. It's going to provide some kind of protection. But can you see the mask which I have? And you can have a look at it. We normally have a 2-layer, okay? But this is okay. And there are other masks which are absolutely useless, you know what I mean? I don't want to mention the name of the company, okay? They're absolutely useless. I would not actually. Yeah. The 3M company is fine, you know what I mean? These are all international reputed company. But yeah. So what I'm saying, this protection will not be as good as that, but it will do the job, okay? So they are all fine, you know what I mean? But maybe, I don't know, you need to find out the literature, because these are all international companies, so I would not. But there are some masks produced by some company which are not really good, but they're not internationally reputed, you know. So, but this provides a better protection. This provides you protection, you know what I mean? But if you're not reusing it, it will provide you protection, okay? Okay, so I think just 10-15 minutes, I'm going to actually show you something which is basically a lot of confusion about this mask and the droplet size and all the particles and bits and pieces. I just want to give you a little bit of physics and science behind it to see what it is. So if you look at this PPE, in the olden days, people used to have this. This is the French doctor. And they used to actually say the miasma, there's a bad air which causing it. They used to put actually flower, beads, and herbs over there. And this wooden stick, they were very clever. You see, this wooden stick, how much was about 3 feet. So they were keeping people away because people were coming over and saying, what I mean. So the stick was actually there to keep the patient away. So they were actually keeping 3 feet distance, So they were using PPE with 3 feet distance, okay? So they were doing like that, they don't come near me kind of thing. And then can you see they have this eyeglass, which is basically they cannot see it, okay? So this PPE was put over there. And then you got mask and you got wooden stick basically, and then you got rubber gloves and you got full-length boots. The PPE started, this is all about the plague in 17th century plague. So germ theory, as I've told, started from there. Now, this is an important slide. Very stupid slide, but it's an important slide. When you're actually wearing PPE, just think why you are wearing it. Is it you are protecting yourself? Is it you are protecting? Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, this is okay. Okay, so think about it. And this is the question came up because we don't have enough time today to see how to do it for surgical patient or aseptic. No, we were just doing simple protective isolation. Yeah, transmission-based precaution. That's what we were doing today. So is it that you are wearing it to protect yourself, or are you doing to protect somebody else? And this is based on the risk assessment. So think about that. Now, the question is, because you are wearing PPE, it doesn't mean it's going to protect you. And this is what we learned in Ebola outbreak. In developed country, the people really don't know how to use PPE. This includes America, okay? So remember, what I've demonstrated to you, most of people don't know how to do it properly. So this is really, really big issue. So now we are actually going back to basics, you understand? The people don't know. So they are wearing it, you know what I mean? But are you actually wearing it? Is it effective? Product effective? Are you actually wearing it properly? Are you actually doing it, duffing it properly, you know what I mean? And this is a really, really big issue. So remember, these two things are actually quite important. So think while you're doing it and do it properly. If you're an infection control doctor, if the quality is substandard, fight for it, and don't do disinfectant and swabbing. Invest money in this one and hand hygiene. Okay, sequence, we talked about it. Right, so this is, I think, gloves, can you see? With X-ray and sunlight and all the bits and pieces, humidity, they just disintegrate, especially latex. So after 55 minutes when you're actually wearing it, the laces start to disintegrate with your skin kind of thing. So I think this is, so if you come to our hospital, you have, most of the hospitals in UK have got 3 sides of gloves and the plastic apron. Okay, so can you see they are protected. Now, if you actually keep a box of gloves like this, yeah, what will happen? The top gloves are all contaminated because dust actually gather at the horizontal surface, not the vertical surface. So you have to keep the box like this to protect that they're not contaminated. Yeah, very small practical point. So either actually use this one or make sure the gloves are actually are not sitting like this kind of thing. So I think we talked of the sequence, and the sequence which I've shown you, it's there, okay. Face protection, I think we've done that. Okay, just for about 5 minutes about this. So when person is sneezing, this is the number of bacteria there's coughing and speaking. So you can work it out how many times the bacteria are shed through talking and speaking and sneezing. Now when we sneeze, the particle size is very, very tiny. So what actually happens with the particle size when it's out? Is it go bigger, smaller? Okay. What actually happens when the particle comes out, the first thing it does is all physics. It loses its humidity and moisture, and it's become lighter, and it travels much further. So 2 things, sneezing and the particle size. So size does matter, okay, in terms of droplets. So this is very important. So what actually happens when person is seeing small drop as a cloud? Now, when you talk of droplet contact, somebody has to be there, approximately 3 feet within your thing, and then when your mask is going to protect you, provided the mask is properly sealed. Yeah, that's the droplet precaution. And this is the reason we actually recommend better space between the patient, because those things are going to come. But then, can you see when they're talking and coughing, they're contaminating the environment. So sometimes wearing a mask is not going to protect you if you don't do hand hygiene along with it. Yeah. So remember, hand hygiene and mask are actually quite important. Now, if I'm coughing and I probably have measles and probably have tuberculosis or varicella zoster, then this particle size becomes tiny and it can travel further distance. So what actually happened? So these are the particle size which are emerging. So when I'm talking to you, the particle size which are coming on this side, they're getting tinier because they're losing all the moisture. So can you see this concept of this 3 meter to 6 meter? Yeah? Is based on this dynamics. So if somebody sneezes and the particle size are really tiny, they can become very tiny, lighter, and travel literally few feet away. So if I sneeze, you will actually find the particle size right in the corridor. Okay, people have done the studies in UK. So that can you see the patient who is coughing and sneezing, the TB patient, you can actually wear all this mask and all bits and pieces, but it's not going to provide you all the protection. So this is they have to wear surgical mask when they're going out when they're coughing. And second thing is that particle size. So this is the efficiency of deposit in the nasopharynx, and these are the particle size. So the bottom line is basically, if they're less than 5 micron, up to 5 micron, they're all actually strapped around the mucociliary membrane. So therefore, when you wear a mask, you're okay. And even there's slight bit leak, you are protected. When they get very tiny, remember, because the particle dynamics I talked about, then they just lodge into your alveoli. So the classical example over here will be Legionella, yeah, tuberculosis, okay, and Aspergillus. Why Aspergillus? Tiny, but they're lighter as well. Yes. So they're not only tiny, but they're lighter. Now, because they're so light, yeah, so they actually just bypass the airway so quickly. That's the beauty of Aspergillus spore. They're relatively big, but they're tiny. Not they're tiny, but they're lighter. They're really light, you know what I mean? So Legionella is another one. Sometimes I go to the hotel where I'm not trusted, okay, where I'm not really sure. I normally open the tap and run away and let the tap run for 5 minutes, then I come back inside. Because what happens when you open the tap, okay, the water hits and generate the aerosol, which are less than 1 micron. And the water system, they're not maintaining to the 55-degree temperature in the dodgy hotel, you come up with Legionella, okay? Now, it's not the shower. So sometimes you got bathtub, yeah? Bathtub are more dangerous than shower, because when you put a bathtub, the force is so high that the water generation, the tiny aerosol, are much lighter and travel much further. So open your tap very gently, and open the shower very gently. And if you're dodgy, just make sure that you don't actually, if you're a smoker, just make sure. But these things are actually very common. And sometimes we trace back to Legionella because that it's just aerosolization of this particle, which are so light and so tiny. So there, I think, face mask and respirator, okay, and these are the examples. And this is the sequence I think we've shown. Okay, this is the sequence we've shown, yeah, that just make sure you wear it properly. But can you see this mask? They are fine, you know what I mean, they're not as good. So this is coming back to the same question. If you're actually buying the product, sometimes the fit may not be good and the quality may not be good. And if the hospital have no budget, you have to compromise, that's okay. But just make sure that you are involved in the purchasing of these kind of things. And so the fit over here, I think, will be slightly less kind of thing. It's not as good as that. But surgery, definitely, I would not use it. I would use these masks if you have got. Now, this is another thing. Remember droplet. This is a slide to show you that the various organisms can survive in the environment for hours or days. And if you clean it frequently, once or twice, but you see what you're not sure, the quality of cleaning, isn't it? I come over and clean it, and then he can come over and clean it, but maybe I'm not thorough and he's very thorough, because you can't see it. So they can actually survive, a long, long time. And the contact transmission, I think we have talked about this. Okay, so this is finish it, gloves removal, yeah? Don't do this. Gloves have hole, okay, medical surgery, these are accepted. Medical glove 2.5%, this is the FDA approved. Surgical glove 1.5%. So what actually happens when I wear gloves? When I wear gloves, I actually create what I call greenhouse effect. What bacteria need? They need water, which is my sweat. Okay, when you wear gloves, you are sweating. They need food, which is my squamous epithelial cell. Okay, and they need a warm environment, and you create a warm environment by putting the gloves. Okay, so providing three things. So when you remove gloves and you got holes, the number of gloves bacteria will multiply a lot. Okay, latex allergy I think is big issue. So make every effort. If you actually use latex-free gloves, okay, this is actually getting very big issue, And this is mainly because people are using a lot of overuse of gloves. And I think we demonstrated that. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you want to ask any questions, so this is really quick run about the PPEs and the particle dynamics. Okay, thank you very much. I know you're all tired.
So we will be serving the tea here to save time.